Hello to all my friends out there. So, here we are again. I hope everyone is doing good. I was shopping around today like millions of other ladies. And so this morning when I got up, it was really windy and it was pouring down rain. And I thought, I don't believe this. So I thought there's no use trying to get ready because you're all going to be all messed up because it was pouring down rain. So I threw on the worst clothes. I threw on 3 coats because I thought I'm going to get wet. I'm going to be all messed up, but the shopping has got to happen no matter what. You know, Christmas is coming. Oh my God, I got to buy gifts. So what happened was it just let up. And I shopped all day and then I got home and now it's raining again. So once again, I was lucky. So this morning I thought, wow, you know, it's going to be so bad. But that's the story of my life. And what I would do is I would go to work anyway, or I would do the best I could. You know, I'd be working 3 jobs and I have tests at school and, you know, I'd always get by somehow. So I want to tell you guys about one of my most remembered Christmases. My computer is driving me crazy. It's talking to me. Okay, my son was pretty old and I decided to buy him a new computer desk and chair and all this office stuff. So I lived upstairs and I thought, wow, you know, because I would hide all the gifts all these years, like in my trunk and remote places. So what I decided to do was hide all the gifts at my ex-husband's house and tell my son, sorry, you know, I gave him a couple gifts, but sorry, you know, it's a really lean Christmas. And so, you know, ha ha ha, you know, it's a really lean Christmas. And my son looked at me and I just got this most sinking feeling, and it really was like the worst Christmas. Even though he got to my ex-husband's and all the gifts were there, I will never, never forget that. And it was like the worst feeling of my entire life. And I feel sorry for anyone who cannot provide gifts for the kids. And I was mentioning to one of the women that I follow that this week there has been people begging for money, it seems like, on every corner. So if you don't have enough food, if you don't have enough gifts, I would Google or do a search free gifts for kids, and you might find some, and just start calling the churches one by one. Do you know of any free gifts for kids? I have kids and I don't have enough money for gifts, and somehow you're going to be able to provide your kids some gifts. Don't ask me how. Today, you know, when I was shopping, I thought, wow, I want to find all of my gifts for 70 to 75% off, maybe even 80. So it wasn't going well. It really wasn't. And I just kept persisting, and I was starting to get tired, and, you know, I had these 3 stupid coats, and then, just like it always does, not until late in the day, it started to swing around and I found all the stuff. And so, as I told you guys, I've been doing this for years, and you can get tons of gifts that way. Nice stuff too. And I thought, I am not buying any gifts that are not nice gifts. I have to have nice gifts. I have to have 70 to 80% off. So today the chat or the premiere went really well. Hi, I have a follower in Hawaii. Hi, Hina. My brother-in-law moved to Hawaii one time. It's very expensive there. Okay. Also, I wanted to mention something. Let me see if this thing is still going. Okay. In San Diego, the houses have hit an all-time high. That means never in history has the houses been this high. And these houses are like $500, almost $600,000 And truthfully, they're dumps. People have facelifted them, but they're like old structures, and you know, they've got some contractor in there, and it's like deal of the century. And I was thinking, in my opinion, I would not expect this trend to continue. First of all, if you have money, you're not buying those houses. I'm sure some people are just to get started, but I don't think it's a good strategy. Just like my shopping at reduced rates, I still wanted really nice items. I just wanted them reduced. So this real estate trend, in my opinion, cannot continue. They say that only the top 20% of people are going to be buying houses, but if that is true, why are they going to buy somebody's old house? You know, we had an old house, and one day the sewer flooded the entire house in 1 acre. Yes, we had Lincoln logs floating all over 1 acre. It was the most awful. I mean, if there's an awful experience, we have had it. So since then, and I think anybody with any money is like me. Did you say old house? No, thank you. Okay, so now this video is about my cheap dinner. So what am I making? So, okay, the first thing I made, you know that hamburger I made last night? That was good. So I had some Walmart. This maybe doesn't look like the greatest hamburger. This is my hamburger from Grocery Outlet, and this is like the third meal. And my Walmart bread, and I have some Coke. Thank you for the card, Florence. Thank you for the flowers, Misha. Thank you for all the decorations, Jack's mom. Okay, so I made myself a hamburger, and I'm going to get into my 20 cheat meals in a minute. But I ran into a guy. Here is my macaroni and cheese, and this is like cheap macaroni and cheese. There's nothing expensive about this. Walmart. And this is what I like to do. So say I want to have some macaroni and cheese, but I don't want to starve out. Macaroni and cheese or not. So what I like to do is make my macaroni and cheese almost like soup. And then I learned something from the Top Ramen. And I have a really good Top Ramen. It's Top Ramen, cheese, and a pat of butter, which is basically all this macaroni is. So they say put a half what are these things called? A cube of butter. But since I'm going to be adding some, cheese, I don't need that much butter, so I'm just going to add about 2 tablespoons. That's enough. And then I get this powdered milk. I can get it sometimes for $3.99. And so I mixed up 2 cups. And I just cooked it, and so I want to add a little milk to my macaroni. And what is going to be good about this macaroni is that it's going to be almost like soup, and I could eat it with crackers. I stockpile crackers, any kind I can find cheap, so that I never run out of bread. I'm thinking this rising cost of food thing is no joke. I had 1 package of lard, and so when my shortening was done, I put it in my can. And I was thinking, you know, if we end up eating some kind of soy meat, if you have lard to fry your hamburgers in, it's going to be much better. And so I have some cheese that I bought at Dollar Tree. So what I did in the Top Ramen when I first started making it was I grated it. But I found if you cut it in little, so here's the cheese. I buy any kind. And so now see how my macaroni and cheese is getting really hot? I want more milk. So the two things I'm thinking that are going to be really, really lifesavers, and they're kind of the same if you think about it, is macaroni and cheese and top ramen. I saw a guy buying a whole, I think it's no coincidence that I see this stuff either. I think God is preparing us all, me and my followers, and they leave really good comments too. And anyway, he had a whole shopping cart full of top ramen, and he was going to give it to the homeless. And he said, you can heat it in 7-Eleven, because I said, well, where would they heat it? He said, well, they can heat it in 7-Eleven. A lot of people don't have access to a lot of cooking. But if you can get yourself a little hot plate, now this is looking good. I'm just going to pour the rest in, so I have 2 cups. It's not too expensive. It's 1/2 cup, 1/2 cup of this powdered milk to 2 cups milk. And then, so when I did the top ramen, I cut my cheese in chunks, and then when my cheese, melted into the chunks, it was really, really tasty in my top ramen with a pat of butter, and that comment came from Henzo. Okay, I want to cook that a minute because I want to tell you guys some stuff. Okay. So the price of food is expected to go up, expected by me. I don't know if it's expected by everyone, but it's expected by me to go up. And the things that I think might go up would be potatoes, meat, oil, wheat, and wine. Because in the past, and so I want to cook this, to cook my, ooh, you guys, this is looking good. Let me show you. See how my macaroni and cheese is looking really good? So I think the beef will go up. I think the processed meat will be taxed. I've been noticing the tax, and one of the followers said in their state they don't have sales tax. I can't imagine that. It would be great though. Okay, so the price of food is going up. It's getting cold, and so what we can expect is a migration, because also the heat, people will have to heat, and it's cold. We're going to have, this is year 1 of this grand solar minimum. Look at my macaroni and cheese, you guys. So now I'm just going to put my, I'm going to drop my little pieces of cheese in there to melt. So they might migrate this way to California, because we have liberal social services, but it's also a very expensive place to live. And so, potatoes, in the past there's been a potato famine, and in other countries, I heard they're having a potato famine, and the potatoes are shrinking in size. And I think this might happen. Remember when the chickens were in the cans and they were very, very small? Another thing is, if the chickens and beef don't have enough feed, they have to go to a market sooner, and they're smaller, and so the yield is less, and so the price goes up. Okay, and so then we might have a shift in the economy as the price of food goes up. It's going to affect the whole economy, because people will be spending money on food just to get by. So we can expect these economic shifts, and I think that it's inaccurate not to expect it. The poor people are the ones that are going to be most affected by everything. Look how yummy my macaroni and cheese looks, you guys. So, another thing, they're saying is, if you want to see what's going to happen here, if we ever get a food shortage, look what has happened to other countries. How about Venezuela? So it would happen in these third world countries before it hits us. And so the thing that we have to know is is if we see some kind of economic downturn, severe, then the food shortages would come in. I think that'd be pretty accurate. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be stockpiling top ramen, because you can always add a little meat to your top ramen. If you hate top ramen, for a few more cents you can get Lipton soup and macaroni and cheese, because that way you're not going to be going without food. Let me show you. Let's see if I can fit it all in here. Ooh, yummy. And so what I do is I just eat as much as I want, and then I eat the rest later. All right, now, okay, so I have some cheap meals, 20 of them. So I bought cheap frozen burgers for $1, non-taxable, at Dollar Tree, hamburger and chicken. Top ramen meals, I'll be doing those. Frozen waffles or pancakes, or your own is cheaper. And eggs, bagels with melted cheese. I tried to get bagels today and they were not looking good. Hot dogs, the big ones, you know, I've been buying those at Costco. And you can make your own. Bologna sandwiches, I was eating one last night. Boiled eggs and cottage cheese, peanut butter with jam, and on the side I have bacon. Frozen burritos, you can get those for $1. Grilled cheese. Quesadillas, I keep tortillas in the freezer. Sausage sandwich, I just fry sausage with usually Walmart bread and mustard. Bacon or sausage and biscuit. Soup and crackers, that's why I'm going to be stockpiling soup. Macaroni and cheese, that was what we have here. Cereal and milk. Oh, I want to show you guys, this stuff is good. I got this marked down 50%. I'm going to be looking, and I was going, wow, that, you know, doesn't sound really good. Well, it is. I got it for 50 cents too, and I'm really glad I bought it. Okay, salads. I have these cans of chicken, and I was thinking, why not make myself a nice little salad, you know, some kind of salad with those. Sandwiches, cookies, and tea. Taquitos made with beef, chicken, potatoes. Just make mashed potatoes, roll them up and fry them, or hot dogs. Okay, now go to this channel, Homestead Tessie Mobile Home Living, Gravy on Bread. I want all my followers to follow her because it's going to save your, you know what. I'm really like a city person. I was a workaholic that worked 3 jobs. So a lot of stuff I don't know. So, okay, now, money savings tips. Number 1 money saving tip, and I'm very glad because a lot of my followers are doing this, stockpile food, macaroni and cheese, and top ramen. You can also get these at the food bank. If they have them, take them. Buy big cans. You know, your cans have like 6 servings, your big cans. So you get 4 cans and you're pretty much set for a month. Eat all your food or freeze the leftovers. That's what I do. This hamburger is going on. Buy full-size packages. Don't buy the little ones for the same price. Buy marked down food. Okay, now, remember this marked down candy? This was a big bag of candy I got at Walmart for 50 cents and it's almost gone. And top ramen. But you know what? I'm going to be buying the big cases like the guy. I will show you. I bought cookies marked down, and these cookies, so when I have packages, I secure all my cookies, and thankfully I still have a few cookies left because I'm really, really hungry. You know, it's been a long day of shopping. I'm just pushed. These are good, and I got them for 50 cents. And then I have some shortbread cookies that I bought at Dollar Tree. My son loves these, but unfortunately he's not here tonight, so there's not going to be any left by the time I get done. Find quick meals. I just gave you 20. And don't waste any money. I am giving myself permission to eat hot dogs at Costco and ice cream if I want, in lieu of a meal. And I am a Diet Coke drinker, and I will have a few Diet Cokes at McDonald's and maybe a couple snacks, but that is it. Okay, another thing is these meals. Sometimes you can get these 50% off. So when I said I was going to stockpile meals, I was talking about this stuff as well as canned food. And I want to mention this one more time. Misha made one of these similar to this at Thanksgiving, and it was really, really, really tasty. Okay, one more thing. Okay, this is about okay, you see the rise in the cost of food, and then possibly an economic downfall, and then food shortages. So we saw this in other countries like Venezuela, and so what would that possibly denote? Well, it would denote, as mentioned in the Bible, birth pains. So when we see this stuff in other countries, we're going to go, oh no, and we're going to start, being very, very careful with our money. And so I hope you all are having a festive Christmas, and I will be back tomorrow. And thank you guys for coming to the premiere and leaving the comments. And God bless you all, and Merry Christmas.